Let me just share the link now. All right, good morning, Jessica.
Morning, sir.
All right, if there's any student from 4 Business 1 on the YouTube channel, I'm going to ask you please to still sign the register. And of course, you can put your questions that you need to ask in the YouTube chat. All right. So let me kind of switch the account so I can see those students who are on YouTube chat. All right. If there's any student on the on the YouTube channel, but I ask you please to state your name in there, and if you have any questions to ask, then you can ask, and I will respond accordingly. For the class, Jessica, the YouTube name is Ron Bernard. On the YouTube channel, I put the link in the on Zoom. So if your friends are having problem, you can tell them to go on to the YouTube channel. All right. On Friday, we started our another topic, and we're just going to continue on that. We had a very interactive lesson, but we need to continue, right? All right. So this is where we were last week. We had, in fact, discovered, we looked at the word typist. When you're doing exam-based questions, especially if they are worded problems, it is important to be able to try to understand, identify what you know, right? Identify what you know. In other words, using nouns. So the last class, we had identified some of nouns that are in the question. Once you are able to identify the nouns that are in the question, then you will definitely do a good job, right? So our last class, let me show you my camera. Good. Can everybody see the thing on my camera here? Can everybody see this? Let me pin my camera so you can see it.
Sir.
Yes, everybody can see it. All right. So in our last class, we said that we have here our typist. Good. So our typist is a real person. And when you're going to understand worded problems, the first thing you try to do is to identify the nouns. Use a part of speech, English language, as I said before. Identify the nouns. So the typist is someone. Now she's working. As I can see, she's a typist and she's working. Good. Now in the question, however, in the question, she's working. Hold on there. Good. She's working. But she was also getting a basic wage of $150. And we understood last week that per hour means that for every hour, thanks to Richard, I don't know where's Richard this morning, for every hour, she gets 150 Jamaican dollars. We're saying it's Jamaican dollars she's earning, right? Now, she works for 40 hours for the week. And we had our calendar. We had our calendar. Just recapping what we did to get further into the lesson. And the technique that I'm using to teach you is the technique you should use to solve the problems you get on the worksheets. Now, so on a Monday, we discovered on Friday that she worked for 8 hours, the regular 9 to 5. And for a regular work week, it'll be 8 times 5. So if you add 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, you're going to end up with 40 hours. So we'll talk about a hour week or work, 40-hour week. We're talking about the fact that she has worked, how much hours she has actually worked per day in that week, work week. And we discovered that we could divide that 40-hour by the number of days in the week, Monday to Friday. I would have received 8 hours. So she got 8 hours per day at a rate of $150. So you have to try and make the question become real as possible to you by either drawing the question or writing, drawing the question, or something, so it can become real life to you, right? You waste less time trying to memorize how this question do. No, that don't work. Last week we had also calculated her basic wage. Her basic wage that we calculated last week was $6,000. That's what we arrive at. So where we reach now is the term overtime. So we're at the term overtime. That's where we're at now, the term overtime. Now, overtime. Can somebody tell me what the word overtime mean? Let's say if you remember, it was said in last class by one of your friends. What does the word overtime mean? Please unmute your mic and respond. What does the word overtime mean? Anyone? Gabriel, Jessica, Nishali, Arville. What does the word overtime mean? We'll talk about overtime. What do we mean? If there's any student on Zoom, answer on YouTube, you can text your response in the chat and I will see it. What does the word overtime mean? Anybody? What does the word overtime mean? Hmm? Students, you have to answer, you know, you have to try, because guess what? This is only way we're going to learn, by doing. You have to participate. Say something. When you talk about overtime, what are we talking about? Gabriel, are you there?
For the amount of time someone works,
The amount of? Say it again.
time someone works,
The amount
the
of
amount
time.
of time
The amount
someone
of
works.
time. All right, the amount of time someone works. All right, but we say overtime. What do you think that means? Try again. Anybody else want to try? Initially tried. Anybody else want to try?
Sir, additional time on your work hours.
Very good, Arville. Additional time on your work hours. So let's type that. Let's type that. Additional time on the work hours. Additional time on the work hours. I like that. That's what it means. And I want you to underscore that. Additional time on the work hours. Right? Additional time on the work hours. I want you to underscore that. Good. Now, so when we talk about overtime, we're talking about additional time on the work hours. No, so the work hours, what is her? Sorry, let me go back to that. What is her work hours? What is her work hours? Based on the question. What is her work hours based on the question? What is her work hours based on the question? Tell me.
Our work hours is 8 hours a day.
And how much a week?
What is the question?
Sorry about that, Gabriel. The question is this. Arville gave us a very good response for overtime. He said that additional time on work hours. So my question is now, what do we mean by the work hours? Arville says during the day, but the question specifically talking about what? It's not a daily thing, but it's what?
What?
It is not a daily work hour that they are referring to. What are they referring to?
That you get some of the time when you get additional hours to your work.
Yes. All right. So what he's saying, additional time on work hours, but I'm going to put in bracket additional time on basic week. Basic week hours, or if you want to call it hour week, right? That's really what it is. Additional time on basic week hours, or the hours you work for the week, your basic, your the amount of hours is which is your regular time. Good. So that's what we mean by the basic week hours. I mean, additional time on the work hours, which is the basic week hours. So very good. All right. So overtime is paid, and we know what overtime means at this time. It's paid at 1.5 times the basic hourly rate. Now, when they say, how do we write 1.5? How do we write 1.5? Anybody? How do we write?
And
Yeah, go ahead, Arvil. 1 and Arvil, go ahead.
What you said, sir?
How do we write 1.5? And there's anybody in the
one
YouTube?
and 1/2, sir.
Thank you very much. 1 and 1/2. What's another way that we can write 1.5? What's another way we can write 1.5?
1 point, no. One
Yeah,
and then you put point.
1 point. 1.1. Okay, sorry about that. Yes, 1.5. That is correct, Arvin. 1.5. All right, for those students who are watching from YouTube, please note that you can put your responses in the YouTube chat and I will acknowledge your responses. All right. Okay. So we talk about 1.5. We're talking about 1.5. Now, they are saying that this information is saying that overtime is paid at 1.5 or 1.5 times. And the word times there mean what? Anybody can tell me? What does the word times in the question there so mean? What does the word times in the question there so mean? Anybody? Anybody? What does the word times mean? Anyone? What does the word times there so mean? What does it mean? The word times. What does it mean right there so? Does it mean addition, multiplication, division, or subtraction? What does it mean? What does it mean? Nobody can tell me?
For multiplication.
Thank you very much, initially. That's correct. Multiplication. So they are saying that overtime is paid that when you multiply 1.5 by the basic hourly rate. So my question now, in this question, what would be the basic hourly rate? What would be the basic hourly rate in this question? Persons who are watching from YouTube channel, you can leave your comment in the YouTube chat and I will acknowledge you. Yeah, go ahead. What do we mean by basic hourly rate? Basic hourly rate. What do we mean by that? By the way, what does the word hourly mean? Hourly, hourly. What does it mean? Hourly rate. What does that mean? Does someone want to Google it and tell us what it means? Hourly rate. Hourly rate. What does hourly rate mean? We have 9 minutes, students, so I'll have to wrap up this. If it's not today, but definitely tomorrow. We'll have to wrap it up. So we'll have to move on. I want to give you a worksheet based on this. Of course, I have a video for it as well. So this worksheet will be coming, if not this evening, but definitely tomorrow. Yes, what do we mean by hourly rate?
Sir,
Yes, go ahead initially.
the amount of money that is changed, paid, or earned for every hour worked.
Good. The amount of money earned for every hour worked. Very good. So therefore, overtime is paid. How you calculate your overtime money is by multiplying what you get per hour by 1.5. Make sense? All right. Good. So that is what it means right there. So question now. Part 2 now of the question asks us to calculate the overtime wage for 1 hour of overtime. Go ahead and work that out.
Repeat, sir.
Part 2 is in the screen, Orville. It says overtime, calculate the overtime wage for 1 hour of overtime work. 1 hour of overtime work means what? She have worked 1 additional hour on our basic week hour, true? But what they wanted to calculate now is how much money would she get for that extra hour? And remember that overtime is paid at what? 1.5 times the basic hourly rate. So for 1 hour, how much does she get? 1 extra hour, how much does she get? Go ahead and work that out. For those persons who are in YouTube, just repeating again, please to leave ask your questions or give your responses in the chat, and I will acknowledge you. Anybody got the answers yet? You can use a calculator now. $1.5 times $150. That's what you're multiplying. 1.5 times 150. That's really what you're multiplying. And what is it? Or stands Arville? Jagger?
225, sir.
225. Very good. All right. All right. Can somebody read part 3 for me, please? Gabriel, can you read part 3 for me? Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel, can you read part 3 for me, please?
The wage she would earn, the wage she would earn overtime if
Mhm.
she worked for a total of 52 hours during a given week.
All right. Now, we're going to analyze this question now. What asking us to calculate rather, the wage she would earn for overtime if she worked for a total of 52 hours during a given week. Let's go to our teacher's corner for a minute. All right, so we saw that $150 there. All right, so let's get to the time. So she worked for 52 hours. Good. For that given week. And they wanted to find out the wage she would work for that 52 hours. Now, what do we know about this this young lady here, the typist? We know that she works from Monday to Friday, true? True.
Yes, sir.
Good. And what is her basic weekly wage? What is her basic weekly wage? Our weekly
150.
no, that is our basic rate per hour. The 150 is our basic rate per hour, but our basic weekly, all right, our basic week then in terms of time is 40 hours. But for a given week, she worked 52 hours. What does that mean to you? The fact that she worked 52 hours for a given week, what does that mean to you? On a Monday, she worked 8 hours. Just going back through that again. Tuesday, she worked another 8 hours. Are supposed to work 8 hours. Thursday, another 8 hours. And Friday, she worked another 8 hours. This is supposed to be her basic week. But the question said that she worked for 52 hours for this given week right here. Now, what does that mean to you? If her normal week hour or week hours for the week is 40 hours, but for a given week, she worked 52 hours. What does that mean to you? Anyone?
Sure, it means that she has to work more overtime, sir.
It means that she has worked some overtime. Yes, Alvin. It means that she has worked some additional hours. Using your statement, it means that she had to work some additional hours on or regular hours for the week. So what is that additional hours that she has actually worked? What is that additional hours that she has actually worked?
So overtime,
Yeah, and how much is it? How much is the overtime hours she worked?
12 hours.
12. 12 hours. Excellent. Yes,
Sir,
Gabriel,
I also could tell us say Zoom something not coming up.
who?
Aisha.
It not coming up.
Yes, sir.
What kind of device is she using?
Internet could be your
I
Wi-Fi.
don't know laptop.
Our laptop. Then our shall is download Zoom on our laptop. Them have to do that. Have to tell them download Zoom on them device. All right. Because the way I am teaching with this, if I'm using Google Meet, I can't type on the board, and you know that, right? I can't do that. They limit me. So you realize I tried to go to one actually a full term with Google Meets, but they limit me. I was still not get the required number. So I work at Zoom. I'll see what I can do for tomorrow's class. I'll see. I'll see. All right. Thank you though. Thank you for that. All right. So very good. Arville. We're going to have to start now because I know you have Mrs. Greenilton's class now. So we're going to stop here again. So when we come tomorrow, we'll have to wrap it up, find out how we work out the extra overtime wage, and the last part of the question, do the worksheet for the in-class activity, and then you're going to do that additional worksheet, that your normal routine for that worksheet that you're going to do to move on. If you know you have not done the simple interest, please to go and get it done. The compound interest, go and get it done. I've only seen one or two persons do the salaries assignment, and I'm not seeing the rest of you do the salary assignments. So you need to do the assignments. That's where your grades are coming from, for the most part. All right, so that's it for today. Very good participation, Arville. I must applaud you. Today you did a very good job in participation. If you keep doing it, and I can tell you that if you constantly participate, you will do well on your assignments and you'll do well on your exam, and you will definitely do well CXC time when it comes. So don't stop participating. Keep participating. Please get your assignments done, sir. Please get them done because you're messing up yourself if you don't.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Okay.
I told me in our backlog, sir.
Backlog.
Yes, sir.
Well, you have to do the recent ones them now, because the recent ones them are going to end of your report.
All right.
Okay. Then you can go back to the backlog after that, but do the recent ones then, and then you go back to the backlog after that. All right. Good. All right. Take care. All the best for those students who are on YouTube live. I don't know if I must apologize, but I'm sorry you weren't able to get on for your class today. But try and download Zoom on your device. Make some space and download Zoom on your device. If it's on a laptop, you have to go to zoom.us. Find a way to download Zoom onto your laptop. Find a way to download Zoom on your tablet. Find a way to download Zoom on your smartphone. All right. Thank you very much for being here.